To the class. Good morning.
Morning.
Let's close your eyes and put your thumb and your pointer together. The hands have to touch each other. Just put them lightly on the lap. You don't have to stretch your fingers tight like this. Let it be comfortable. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Exhale slowly. Inhale completely. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Shall we do 3 Omkaras? If somebody is not comfortable doing the Omkara, no problem. You can just do the breathing. You don't have to chant the Omkara if you're not comfortable with it. Okay. The others who are comfortable, please start with 3 rounds of Omkara. Inhale deeply. Exhale and do the Omkara. Om. The Omkara has to be longer. Inhale again. Om. Inhale again. Om. Each inhalation and exhalation, let go of your strain, stress. Just bring your focus back to the class. Inhale, exhale. Bring the focus back to your breathing. Inhale, exhale. Bring the focus back to yourself. Inhale, exhale. The next few minutes that we're going to do this, just concentrate only on yourself and your breathing. Forget rest of the other things. Forget your husband, your children, your neighbors, your friends. Forget everybody. Concentrate only on yourself. Okay? We are allowed to be selfish for a few more minutes. Not a problem. Okay? Fine. Now, let's start with Kapalabhati breathing. No, before Kapalabhati, let's do Bastrika. Bastrika is a forceful inhalation and forceful exhalation of the breath. It will take some time for you people to understand the technique, but keep following my instructions. Every day you will get better and better. Okay? Here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to inhale suddenly. I'm going to exhale forcefully. And for that, I'm going to use a hand movement. It's like inhale, stretch your hands up. When you're exhaling, pull your hands down and exhale. Yes, I want that noise to come out. Okay, everyone can keep a towel or a hanky with you, nothing to be embarrassed about. Any nose fluids coming out, not an issue at all. We are not worried about all that. Okay, we'll do this 10 times. Okay, start. Keep your eyes closed, or you can just watch me. Don't keep your eyes closed. Just relax. Keep your eyes closed. Observe the changes happening in your breathing pattern. Observe the changes happening with your mind, how you're feeling when you're doing this. Observe the changes in your breathing pattern. Observe the changes happening in your body. Each time with each pranayama practice, close your eyes and feel. Try to feel what's happening. Half the time, when we close our eyes and concentrate on exactly what's happening to us, half the health problems are actually addressed there. So we need to observe. We don't do that. That's the problem. Okay? This actually can be done to 21 times. But since you all are new, we'll start with 10 and slowly build it up to 21 times. Okay? It should be done more than 21 times. 21 is enough. Not more than that. Okay? Now let's go in for Kapalabhati. Kapala is your forehead. Kapalabhati means your forehead shiny. They say that you're going to have a shiny forehead. So here what we're going to do is, it's going to be active exhalation and passive inhalation. In the sense that don't worry about inhalation, it will happen automatically, but we are only concentrating on exhaling. That's very important. While we are exhaling, we are supposed to flap our stomach. It's a little tricky in the beginning for beginners, but don't worry. Every day when you're practicing, you will get the hang of it. So place one of your hands on your stomach. Watch me first. Okay. And then I'm going to do only exhalation. Don't worry about the inhalation. It will happen automatically. So when I'm exhaling, that's when I'm sucking my stomach in also. So two things are happening simultaneously here. So try. Take a break. Break. Bring your breath back to normal. Just to normal breathing. Again here, try to find the changes happening in your body. Observe the changes happening in your breathing pattern. Shall we do one more now? Again, place your hand on your stomach. We'll only exhale. Relax. Relax. Again, bring the breath back to normal. Observe the changes. Again, let's begin. Hand on your stomach. Active exhalation. Stop. Practice. Relax. See, I can do at a stretch 100 of this without taking any break. But newcomers who are beginners, start with 10 or 5 also is not enough, no problem. Do 5, take a break, again do 5 more, take a break. But again, you have to build this habit very gradually. Suddenly, one day, if you do 50, I'm very sure your muscles here and your muscles down, you have severe pain. So gradually you have to build this practice. Okay? Always remember that. Don't overexert yourself. Anytime you're uncomfortable, stop the practice, bring your breath back to normal. That's very, very important. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that means you're doing something wrong. Okay? Now that is done. Now the third what we'll do is we are going to balance the breath. The right nostril breathing and the left nostril breathing, we are going to balance it. That is called Nadi Shodhana. We are balancing both sides of the breath of the nostril. Okay. Now just gently place your finger below your right nostril and inhale and exhale. The breath of the finger. The same way, take your left finger, place it on the left nostril. Again, breathe. So you might have maybe right nostril breath is more intense than the left nostril breathing, or maybe the left nostril breathing may be more intense than the right nostril breathing. So we don't want that. We want both nostrils to work correctly in a balanced way. That is what we're going to do here. Okay, what we're going to do is your left hand is in Chinna Mudra on your thigh. The right hand, we are going to use the thumb and the ring finger. Okay, I'm going to watch me first. I'm going to close my right nostril, inhale through my left nostril, close the left nostril, exhale through my right nostril. Again, inhale through right nostril, close, exhale through left nostril. That is one cycle. Like that, we will do 3. Shall we try? Follow my instructions. Now with your thumb, close your right nostril. Now inhale through your left nostril. Close your left nostril. Exhale slowly to your right nostril. Again, inhale through your right nostril. Close the right nostril. Exhale slowly through your left nostril. Again, inhale through your left nostril. Close. Exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through your right. Close. Exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Close. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. Close. Exhale through your left. And slowly stop the practice. Now there are certain rules for this Nadi Shodhana practice. What are the rules? It should always, the inhalation should always start from the left nostril. Again, when you are ending this practice, it should always be exhalation from the left nostril. That is a very, very important rule of this pranayama practice, Nadi Shodhana. Okay. Remember, left inhalation while stopping the practice, left exhalation. Very, very crucial. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is, the right nostril is called as Surya Bedi Pranayama. The left nostril breathing is called the Chandra Bedi Pranayama. So, Surya and Chandra are in your nostrils. What we're going to do is, we're going to close the right nostril. We're going to inhale and exhale through your left nostril. There is another thing which I thought I'll gradually introduce that. What we're going to do is, in your mind, when you're inhaling, I want you to count in your mind. Like suppose I'm inhaling for maybe 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I'm exhaling, exhalation should always be longer. In the sense that I will try to control my breath and exhale double that. For 10 counts, I'm going to exhale. Can we try? In your mind, I want you to inhale like how many breaths you're taking. Maybe you're taking a breath for 5 counts or 6 counts or 10 counts. So the exhalation should always be double that. Okay. Maybe you can stop it anywhere in between, but we will try to do the 1:2 ratio breathing. Okay. This is called 1:2 ratio. Inhalation for 5 counts, exhalation for 10 counts. Inhalation for 10 counts, exhalation for 20 counts. Close your right nostril with your thumb, right hand thumb. Now inhale for 5 counts. Exhale for 10 counts. Inhale for 5 counts. Exhale for 10 counts. Inhale for 5 counts. Exhale for 10 counts. Slowly stop the practice. Okay. In pranayama, this rule applies for everything. So everything, the Nadi Shodhana, whatever you're doing, it should always be, the exhalation should always be the double of your inhalation. So automatically start counting in your mind for how long you're inhaling for. Exhalation should be double that. Okay. Now, again, left hand in Chinna Mudra, right hand with your ring finger, close your left nostril. Let's do right nostril breathing, Surya Bedi Pranayama. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe you're stopping at 7 or 8. Not an issue. Slowly we'll build up on this practice. It cannot happen overnight. Again, one more round. Inhale. Exhale. Longer exhalation. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly, longer exhalation. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Okay. Everybody comfortable with that? The next one, what we're going to do is something called Sheetali. This is to bring the temperature of your body down. Suppose there are some days where you feel your body is like heated up, right? So many of these allopathic doctors don't believe in body heating and becoming cold. So I believe in it. So to reduce the heat of your body, what we're going to do is watch me, my tongue. I'm going to roll my tongue. The corners are rolled up. If you're not able to do it, use your finger to roll it. After doing this, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to inhale the breath with my rolled tongue, hold it in my lungs for 5 counts, and I'm going to close my mouth and exhale through my nose. Okay, watch me once. Okay, when I place my hand here, that means you need to hold your breath in your lungs for a few counts and then very slowly exhale through your nose like this. Okay, shall we begin? Start.
Yeah.
Again, longer exhalation here. Mentally count. One more last round. Called Shitali. So when you roll your tongue up and when you're taking the air in, you could feel the cool air going in, right? So when you do this, where there's a small confined spaces and the air goes in, you will feel the air is cooling. Again, when you're exhaling through your nostril, you feel the warm air coming out, right? So this is how you cool your body. And a very important rule of this Shitali is, you should not do it when it's raining. Don't do it in the evening. Don't do it when the weather is very cold. It should be done on a bright sunny day when you're feeling hot inside. To cool your body, you're going to do this. The rule is not in the evening, not when the weather is very cold, not when it's raining. Those are the 3 important rules of Shitali. Okay?
Yeah.
Shitali means cold, like, temperature, bringing the temperature down. Shitali means cold. Now, the same thing, we are going to do something called Swadanta. This is to keep your teeth very, what do you say? Keep your teeth strong. So what I'm going to do, same thing what we did, I'm going to breathe to my teeth. Watch me. So when the air passes through your teeth, the teeth decay, the gums are becoming stronger. So it's very good. And Shitali should not be done more than 3 times. Even Swadanta, not more than 3 times. That's the maximum you can do. One more round. Swadanta. Breathe to your teeth. One more round. Okay. So that was Swadanta, to keep your gums and teeth strong, wherein you're pushing the oxygen through in between your gaps in the teeth. When you're doing that, you're going to have a very healthy set of teeth and gums. And another important thing is, after you've brushed your teeth with the brush, very, very important to use your finger and massage your gums everywhere. Open your mouth nicely after brushing your teeth. Use your finger to massage the gums so that lot of blood circulation happens to gums. Keeping your gum healthy is more important than keeping your teeth clean.
Yeah.
Gum is where you're supplying the blood to the teeth, right? So gum health is very, very important. So use your finger to massage your gums. Use your thumb to massage the inside of your teeth. And you can use your thumb and the finger to massage the down of the down set of teeth. Okay? Very, very important.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Now, We've done that. Let's go in for Brahmari. Brahmari means it's a humming bee sound. Brahmari in Sanskrit, it's called Brahmari. In English, it's called humming bee sound. Okay. Compared to the last time, I'm going to little change the technique for Brahmari. What we're going to do is the thumb. I'm going to close my ears with the thumb, and I'm going to place my pointer on my eyebrows, the middle finger lightly on my eyelids. Don't press your eyes. Very lightly, use your middle finger to close your eyelids. The ring finger is on either side of your nose. The little finger is on either side of your mouth. Okay? And one more important rule, your tongue should touch the upper palate. Roll your tongue, touch it to the upper part of your mouth, close your mouth. And we are going to do humming bee sound. I'm going to inhale. When you're exhaling, please your mouth, keep your mouth closed and hum in your throat. Tongue is touching the upper palate. Okay, can we try?
Yeah.
Inhale deeply. Tongue touching the upper palate. Exhale. Inhale again. Again. Brahmari is the most powerful of all the pranayama practices. Okay, so you can even feel there are a little bit variation here. If you don't want to touch the tongue to your upper palate, try and do the Brahmari without touching your tongue to the upper palate. You will find the effect is not that much. That is what I have experienced. I feel when the tongue is touching my upper palate and I do the Brahmari, I feel there is a circuit, it gets completed, so the tongue is again touching back.
Ma'am, listen.
Can you hear me?
Last exercise, Brahmari exercise, repeat it again.
Okay, no problem. We'll do it again. Okay? Yeah, the important rule is...
No, method.
Yeah. See, what I'm going to do is thumb completely blocking your ears. The pointer is on your eyebrow. The middle finger is lightly closing your eyelids. Don't put pressure on your eyes. Now, the ring finger is either side of my nose and the little finger is either side of my mouth. And my thumb is completely closing my ears. Okay. Then I'm going to inhale. My tongue is touching the upper palate. You need to just curl your tongue. Close your mouth. Okay. Now inhale deeply and exhale, making a sound in your throat. So when you do that, the whole body...
Tongue is down. Tongue is...
Try with the tongue down. But I have found when I curl my tongue up, I feel it's more effective in the sense that your body energy is like a circuit. So when my tongue is again curled up, I feel my energy is again going back inside. Okay? So that is what
at the time of exhale, tongue will be down. Tongue will be down.
Let the tongue be there only, not a problem. You're just exhaling through your nose. Throughout the Brahmari practice, maybe 3 times, 5 times, you keep your tongue curled up only. But just for your, just for an experiment, try to do the Brahmari, keep your tongue down. Okay. Then another time, do it with your tongue up. You can find the difference. Okay. I'm sure you will find the difference. Then you will understand the importance of curling the tongue. Okay. Right. Try. We'll do 2 more rounds. Among that, you do with the tongue down, and once you do with your tongue up, you will find the difference then. Okay. Start. 1 more round. Everyone. Don't press the middle finger into your ear, into your eyes. Very gently. Okay. Start. Inhale. Then inhale. Okay. Keep your eyes closed. Absorb the vibrations of Bhramari Pranayam coursing through your body. Slowly open your eyes.
Are you?
Are you able to see the difference? Okay. Fine. Now, we have done pranayama practice. Did you find the difference when you're doing with the tongue rolled up and tongue down?
Yeah.
So which you find better?
Rolling is better.
Yeah, even I find that. You can anyhow. There's no rule, fast rule that you have to do it like this, but I have found this way more effective. So that's what I'm teaching you. Okay. Now, there are still more pranayama practices. We will take them up again in the next class. For right now, this much is enough. Now let's do some meditation.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, for meditation, your pads of your fingers, pointer and thumb is touching, and gently place it on your thighs. Keep it in a comfortable position. If you're sitting on a chair, I want you to put a mat under your feet.
I can't sit on the
No
ground.
problem. You can sit on the chair, but
Yeah.
under your feet, put a mat or something.
Okay.
Your feet should not touch the floor.
Okay.
Okay. So what happens? All that the energy you are receiving, we will go into the earth. Okay. So if you're having the mat there, it will retain back in your body. Earth is like, it sucks all the energy, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying to keep the energy in our body. So just place a mat or a towel or whatever. Just place it under your feet when you're sitting in the chair. If you're sitting down comfortably, but mat is very essential. None of your body parts should touch the floor. Always have a mat. Okay, right closed. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. With each inhalation and exhalation, let go of your strain, stress, anger, ego, resentment. Just let go of all the excess baggage that you're carrying, the judgments that you're carrying. Just let go of all. Just concentrate only on your breathing. Many thoughts come in your mind. I want you to let the thoughts come and let the thoughts flow. I don't want you to dwell on a particular thought. Let the thought come, let the thought go. You don't go into the deeper thought, deeper investigation of that particular thought. Just let the thought come, let it go. You cannot stop the thoughts from forming. But what we can do is not give importance to those thoughts. Okay? Inhale, exhale. Just concentrate on the inflation and the deflation of your lungs. Concentrate at the tip of your nostril, where cool air is going inside your nostril and the warm air is coming out of your nostril. Just sensitize yourself to the tip of your nose. Each time your mind seems to wander, pull it back and concentrate on your breathing. Inhale, exhale, relax. Inhale, exhale, relax, relax. relax. I want you to visualize. People say that what you visualize is what you are. So let's visualize beautiful things. So that is what we are going to become. Okay. What we think is what we are. They say that. So let's not think. Let's only visualize about a beautiful sunrise. Just visualize you looking at the sun and all the beautiful colors of the sun, from the bright yellow to orange and a bright red, all the vivid colors of the sun. Just visualize that, relate to the sun, feel that warmth of your sun on your face, feel that bright light of the sun with its colors of yellow, orange, and red, and the warmth that the sun is giving you. Feel that warmth falling on your face, your body, your arms, your legs. Visualize the bright yellow, orange, red light of the sun. Visualize the warmth of the sun. Visualize the warmth falling on your face and whole your body is becoming warm. Just visualize that. Surrender yourself to the sun and the warmth he's giving and the way so beautiful he looks. Just visualize, just lose yourself into it. Visualize that you're on a beach and you can see the ocean in front of you. Visualize the sun rising at the other end of the ocean. Visualize those beautiful ocean with the large waves. Visualize that you're standing on the beach with the sand under your feet. Feel, visualize that sand, how it feels under your feet. Visualize your toes and your feet sinking into the sand. Visualize the warmth of the sun. Visualize this huge ocean with its roaring sound. Visualize the sand under your feet. Visualize your feet sinking into the grains of the sand. Visualize the waves of water just touching your feet. Visualize the coldness of the water. Visualize this beautiful wind blowing into your face and the warmth of sun warming up your face and your body. Visualize that. Just lose yourself into this nature beauty. Again, visualize the warm sun on your face and your body. Visualize the beautiful colors of the sun and feel the sound of the waves roaring in your ears. Feel the wind against your skin. Feel the sand under your feet. Feel the waves lapping up your feet. Just feel that wonderful gift of the nature that you're able to enjoy. Just lose yourself into this. Forget every other thought. Each time, just bring your attention back to your breathing. Bring your attention back to this beautiful nature scenery that you have visualized for yourself. Just enjoy this blissful moment. Relax, breathe, enjoy, relax, feel, enjoy, breathe, 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 relax, feel that fatigue, feel that restlessness, feel the tiredness leaving your body, and you're getting strengthened with the warmth of the sun and the beautiful wind against your skin, the waves lapping up against your feet, and the sand your feet is sinking into. Just enjoy this moment. Let all other things, forget the other things which is weighing down on you. Just relax and enjoy this beautiful moment, this beautiful feeling, and this visualization that you can escape into whenever you're feeling stressed or strained. You can build yourself this beautiful moment and enjoy yourself in it and lessen your stress and strain and tiredness. Just relax, relax, relax. Breathe very gently. Just move your toes. Bring the awareness back to your legs. Move your fingers. Bring the awareness back to your hands. Move your head side to side. Bring the awareness back to your head. Just keep your eyes closed. Now, bring your hands in front of you. Rub your palms. Make it very, very hot. Rub it, rub it, rub it, rub it. Make it very hot. Rub it more and more. Just cup your palm into your face, around your eyes. Don't press your hand into the eyes. Just cup your eyes. Feel the warmth of your palm around your eyes and on your face. Don't open your eyes. First, open the palms in front of you. Look at the palm and look up. So whenever you're feeling restless, whenever you're feeling stressed out, when you feel anger, you can build this beautiful world for yourself and escape into it for 3 or 5 or however long you want to stay in that blissful state. Just switch off your phone. Just go into a room and just build this beautiful imagination for yourself and escape there, where nobody, be it your husband, children, neighbors, parents, nobody has to occupy your mind space. This is just for yourself, the me time. Okay? So when you keep doing this, automatically your BP, the strain, the stress, the depression, whatever you're going through, will slowly, with longer practice. This will not help if you're doing it once in a while. Just 5 minutes, 3 minutes in a day. If you can find the time for yourself, it's more than enough. You want to ask me something? I can't hear you. Your voice is muted. Your voice is muted. I can feel that icon of your mic. Your mic is yet off. Just press on the screen down. You can feel that mic coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. How many times we can do
Any number of
meditation?
times, any
Eh?
time of the day, whether you
How-
sit in meditation,
Yes,
pranayama,
meditation. How many time can do
you can do
meditation?
any number of times you want to do. If you're having time for 2 minutes, just
Okay.
for that 2 minutes, not a problem.
Yeah.
Any number of times. You want to do 5 times in a day for 2 minutes, not a problem. Or you want to do continuously for 1 hour, good, not a problem.
But tell me something, after we do this, and if we want to do exercise, workout or anything, it's fine, right?
Yeah. This is not related to your physical body. But what I would prefer is, you do the exercise part, okay, and then you relax into this. Then what happens? You're completely, your body, the tiredness of your body, the fatigue of your body will go away.
Okay. So
After
finish
you
the exercise
you
and
do
do
this.
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Then it works more wonderfully because you're already relaxed your mind, and then again you're going in for doing a strenuous exercises, which is tiresome and fatigue. You feel fatigue, right?
Okay, yeah.
Do this after the exercise, then I feel it becomes more, you can get into more relaxation.
Okay, but this yoga is mainly for meditation, right? What is the difference between this yoga and hatha yoga?
See, there is no difference between any part of the yoga. What happens is different gurus have taken the yoga and have added their own twist to it. That's all.
Oh,
Everything's
okay.
basically yoga.
Okay. Okay.
So then what happens is, when you're doing it little forcefully, you're adding a cardio base to it, it becomes
Okay.
yoga, wherein you are trying to, just sweat more and make your body more heated.
Okay.
Then it's again called vinyasa. Vinyasa yoga, it's more about flow.
Okay.
From one asana to another asana, you don't take a break. You go from one asana to another asana in a beautiful flow. That is again
Okay.
called vinyasa.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, yoga is all the same, but each guru that they have taken up and they've added little twists to it
Yeah, yeah.
by their own method, and
Okay.
they've given it little different names to it. Basically, it's all the
Okay.
same.
Okay. Now something like this, we should do it every day, right?
See, I would prefer it you do it every single day, because I would want you to research something called aura of your body.
Okay.
So basically, you have an energy. There is an energy around every living thing and non-living thing also. So when you have an energy field around you, okay, it's called an aura. In the next class, I will do a meditation called chakra meditation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chakras are basically energy fields in our body.
Okay.
So there are 7 main chakras. There are many upachakras. Chakra means the energy which is in a particular place. Okay. There is Muladhara chakra. Muladhara chakra lies between your vaginal region and your anal region. There's a little bit of space there. That is called Muladhara chakra. So that chakra is what keeps you rooted onto this earth and makes you feel that you belong in this place. So when that Muladhara chakra is not powerful enough, that's when people go into depression. That's when they try to do suicide. So they feel that they don't belong here. So you need to strengthen the Muladhara chakra. So that which is keeps you rooted onto this earth. Okay. Next comes Vadisthana. That is at the end of your tailbone. So that chakra is all about your pleasure, about your sex life and other things. So that chakra is more related to your reproductive organs and things like that. Manipura chakra is in your navel region here. So that Manipura chakra, it takes care of your digestive fire. So anything that you eat, you're going to digest it nicely. That means your Manipura chakra is working wonderfully. If you have a digestion problem or something, that means the fire in your belly has come down. So we need to activate that chakra. Any related organs is having problem around your stomach, then your Manipura chakra is not strong enough. So we need to strengthen that. The next is Anahata chakra, which lies in your heart. Okay. Any heart-related, lung-related problem, and you will not feel connected to your family people, you're not feeling the love and affection or emotion towards your family people, that is when your heart chakra is not very active. So we need to activate this heart chakra. The next is your throat chakra. It's called Vishuddhi chakra. When you're not able to express what you're feeling to other people convincingly, you're not able to say what's in your heart to another person, when you're not able to orate what you want to actually say, or you're having thyroid problems, anything related to it, that means your Vishuddhi chakra is not working properly. The next is Agna chakra, which lies in between your eyebrows here. That is what we call as third eye chakra. The Shiva has it here, right? So it's all about intuition. When this chakra is working fine, you'll have this intuitive nature, wherein you will feel, suppose I'm a mother. So every mother has this intuition towards their children, right? So to make that stronger, maybe intuition towards your family people, So when you concentrate here, you're going to get that intuition level more and more. Okay. Then Sahasra chakra is not on the crown. Just 2 inches above the crown is here. That's called Sahasrara chakra. Sahasra means 1,000 petal flower. That chakra is here. So this chakra is all about your spirituality, your spiritual growth, wherein you have reached the level where you become the sadhu, sant, and like Vivekananda, Ramana Maharshi. So those are the people who have the Sahasrara chakra very bright. So they've attained that kind of a space where the physical matter, the materialistic matter don't matter to them. They are in a different level.
So you have to align all your chakras,
Yes,
right?
all the chakras have to be working bright and shining and doing its work. So that's when
How
you
would you know? How would you know if somebody's chakra are not working well? How would you know?
I am not that much jnani where I can correct it for others, where I can know the other person is not, having the chakra correctly. But there are people who detect it, like, Reiki healers. And then you have this, what do you call, another healing is there. Yeah, those healers will know which chakra is not working correctly and they give energy to that particular chakra.
Okay, is that chiropractic healing or something? Pranic healing?
Pranic healing, yes.
Pranic
Reiki and
healing.
pranic healing, they deal in all these chakras.
Okay,
And
okay.
they're giving energy to you. Okay, but we all can't do that regularly, keep going to other people, right? So next class, I will do a chakra meditation where you yourself can energize your chakras. I will do that in the next class.
Okay. And what is the, you said aura, you will analyze the aura, or we should Google and see?
So what each of the chakra does is, like I told you, the root chakra, which lies near your anal region, that actually emits red color light. And the Swadhisthana chakra, which is below your tailbone, emits orange color light.
Okay.
Your Manipuraka chakra emits yellow light. Your heart chakra emits green light. Your throat chakra emits violet color light. And your Agra chakra emits indigo color light. And your Sahasrara chakra emits this pink and bluish light. Okay? So when your whole body, you emit this rainbow colors. And that creates a barrier around you. That is called aura, where the 7 rainbow colors is emitting out of your body. Again, that is also energy field.
Okay, okay.
So sometimes one chakra is working more, one chakra is working light. Maybe your red light is coming less, your orange light is more, maybe your green light is less, your blue light is more. So to correct all this so that it comes in a balanced way, we do this chakra meditation, wherein we are energizing and aligning all the chakras.
Okay. So next class we'll do that.
We'll do that. Okay.
So we are done for today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next class.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Next
And
Welcome.
Hari Om, Om Shanti.
Welcome.
When will be next class?
I think next Monday, right?
Next Monday. Okay.
Just check with Rajina once. Whenever she says.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Rajinam.